In the heart of Moscow, a concert hall turned into a chilling scene of terror and chaos. The Crocus City Hall, a renowned music venue, was brimming with anticipation for an evening of rock music by the Russian band Picnic. Little did the concertgoers know, a shadow of unthinkable tragedy was looming over their joyous gathering. The clock ticked away as the band belted out their tunes, the crowd swaying to the rhythm, oblivious of the impending doom. Suddenly the harmony was shattered. Armed individuals, like wolves among sheep, turned a haven of music into a battlefield. The first few moments were a blur, a whirlwind of confusion and disbelief. The air, once filled with music, was now filled with screams of terror and the merciless sound of gunfire. Imagine, if you will, the sheer horror of those moments. One moment you are lost in the melody, the next you are running for your life. The abrupt shift from a celebration of music to a desperate struggle for survival is a terrifying thought, isn't it? The attack was not just a shock to the innocent concertgoers, but to the entire world. It was sudden, it was brutal, and it was unexpected. A concert hall, a place of joy and celebration, was transformed into a scene of horror and grief. As the echoes of laughter turned into cries of despair, an evening of music transformed into a nightmare. The Crocus City Hall, once a symbol of Moscow's vibrant music scene, will now forever be a reminder of this unthinkable tragedy. The grim aftermath bore witness to the horrifying scale of the attack. In the wake of the violence, the death toll was staggering. 133 concertgoers tragically lost their lives. Over 100 more, their night of merriment turned into a nightmare, were left nursing injuries of varying severity, each one a stark reminder of the brutality of the incident. Emergency services were quick to respond, their sirens piercing the eerie silence that had descended upon the venue. Their swift action, coupled with the courage of those on the scene, helped save countless lives. Amidst the chaos, they apprehended the gunmen, their deadly rampage brought to an abrupt halt. In the face of such a devastating loss, a city, a nation were left in mourning. In the wake of the tragedy, accusations quickly began to fly. As the dust began to settle on the unimaginable horror that had unfolded, the world watched, breath held, as the blame game began. Russian President Vladimir Putin was quick to point a finger, laying the blame for the attack at the doorstep of Ukraine. He alleged that the gunmen who staged the attack had links to Ukraine, a claim that was met with swift and vehement denial from Kyiv. To comprehend the weight of these accusations, it's essential to take a brief detour into the complex and often tense relationship between Russia and Ukraine. These two nations share a long and turbulent history marked by territorial disputes, political tensions, and conflicting ideologies. The accusations of Ukrainian involvement in the Moscow concert hall attack, therefore, were not just a random dart thrown in the dark, but a pointed finger aimed at a long-standing adversary. But Ukraine was not silent in the face of these allegations. Kyiv rebuffed Putin's claims with an unyielding denial, adding yet another layer to the intricate geopolitical chess match that has been the relationship between these two nations. It was a bold statement, a refusal to be scapegoated in the face of such a horrendous act. Meanwhile, the world looked on, caught in the crossfire of these accusations and denials. It was a bewildering game of he said, she said, with the truth caught somewhere in the middle. The real perpetrators, the gunmen, had been apprehended, but the question of who was truly responsible for the attack remained shrouded in mystery. In this intricate web of blame and denial, the truth seemed elusive. Amidst the chaos and confusion, a sinister voice claimed responsibility. The group known as ISIS-K, a branch of the Islamic State in Afghanistan, stepped forward to lay claim to the horrific act that unfolded at the Crocus City Hall music venue near Moscow. This claim was not a hollow boast. It was confirmed by U.S. officials who are closely monitoring the situation. It is important to understand the motivations behind such a monstrous act. To do so, we must delve into the historical conflicts between ISIS-K and Russia, as well as the group's perception of oppression against Muslims. The roots of ISIS-K's enmity towards Russia can be traced back to Russia's involvement in the Middle East and Afghanistan. The group views Russia as a suppressor of Muslims, a perception that fuels their adversarial relationship. ISIS-K's claim of responsibility is not just about claiming a gruesome victory. It's a statement of intent, a chilling reminder of their unyielding antagonism towards Russia. This act of terror was not just an attack on innocent lives, but also an assault on the peace and stability of the region. It was a demonstration of the group's capability and willingness to instigate fear and chaos. In the face of such atrocities, it becomes crucial to understand the motivations that drive these groups to better prevent such incidents in the future. It's a stark reminder of the fact that the specter of terrorism is still very much alive and continues to cast a dark shadow over the world. In this gruesome act of terror, the specter of ISIS-K once again loomed large. Their claim of responsibility serves as a chilling reminder of the persistent threat they pose and the lengths they are willing to go to achieve their destructive aims. As the dust settled, the world was left grappling with the stark reality of the tragedy. The Moscow concert hall attack, a monstrous act leaving no less than 133 lives lost and over 100 injured, sent shockwaves reverberating around the globe. The atrocious act was not just an attack on Russia, but a brazen assault on humanity itself. News of the tragedy rapidly spread, met with an outpouring of grief and condemnation from every corner of the planet. Nations near and far extended their condolences to the bereaved families, expressing solidarity with the Russian people in their hour of mourning. Leaders, dignitaries, and citizens alike echoed a shared sentiment. Such acts of mindless violence are an affront to all we hold dear as a global community. In the aftermath of this horrifying incident, the world's attention turned towards the man at the center of it all, Russian President Vladimir Putin. His response to the tragedy was equally met with anticipation and scrutiny. Putin, known for his steely resolve in the face of adversity, made a resounding call for unity. He urged for international cooperation against the dark cloud of terrorism that continues to cast its ominous shadow worldwide. This call to action underscored a poignant truth: that terrorism is not just a single nation's problem. It's a global menace that requires a united front. We must stand shoulder to shoulder, putting aside political differences and national interests, to combat this threat to our shared peace and security. As we navigate the aftermath of this gruesome event, we are reminded of our collective responsibility to remember the lives lost, to support those who are left to pick up the pieces, and to stand firm against the forces that seek to divide us through fear. The Moscow concert hall attack is a stark reminder of the challenges we face as a global community, but it also highlights our potential for unity, resilience, and the indomitable human spirit that rises in the face of adversity. In the aftermath of such a tragedy, it is this spirit that we must hold on to, foster, and carry forward. In the face of such a monstrous act, humanity must stand united. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this with your friends. Together we can spread awareness and stand against terror.